Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Can you see me? So, welcome to my 10,000 subscriber Q&A session. So there's going to be a bit of lag. Just need to see. My laptop's down here, so this is where I'm going to capture or see what's going on, see the chat, see if I'm actually live streaming. So bit of a pause. I can see messages coming through on the chat already. It says it, and I actually, oh yeah, you can hear me. Yeah, you can't see me. I know what I've done, right? So there's a bit of a button in the software. There we go. Can you see me now? There's a button, there's a transition button on using OBS. It's been like ages since I used this software, and it takes me a little bit of time to remember how to use it after I've done it. Cool, you can't see me, yeah. Well, you should be able to see me now. Like I said, there's a bit of a lag. It's probably about 20 seconds worth of lag. There we go. There it is. I can see myself now. So if you're watching this, you can time the delay between when I can see myself and when I can't. Cool. So 10,000 subscribers. Who would have thought that I would have got this far? It's taken about 4.5 years, which, you know, I wasn't expecting to reach this many, and I'm absolutely flattered that you guys enjoy my content. So that's amazing. So what I'm thinking of doing is streaming this for about an hour. I can't promise that I'm going to see everyone's comments, but if you want your comment to be pinned, you can do Super Chat, because that's now enabled on my channel. So I think the way Super Chat works is that you basically pay a small amount, it gets to the top of the chat, and I will see it because it gets highlighted. So I will obviously react to it if you Super Chat me, which would be brilliant. Not expecting anyone to do that, because obviously, you know, it's up to you, completely up to you. But if you do, you'll see what I'm talking about. So thanks in advance if you do that. And also, you can probably see that I am wearing my 10k t-shirt. It's arrived. Stock is now available. Order it online, link down in the description for the merch. You can get this, and I've also had some more. So this one it's decal, not decal, and there is the alternative decal, not decal. It depends on which side you sit on the fence, really. If you are a fan of the way I say it, then this is the t-shirt for you. And if you're a fan of the way I don't say it, then you can get the other t-shirt. So the whole idea of this one is that you wear it out in town and you show everyone what sort of team you're on, the decal or decal team. And I've also had this one, which is the building models and collecting them are different hobbies, which, to be brutally honest, I feel like all the time, because I'm always getting new ones, and I'm not building all of them all the time either. I mean, just today, because we did Secret Santa at work, and I'll show you what I got. So obviously Secret Santa is normally sort of, they get you silly joke gifts, but this time they got this for me, which is really nice. I've never actually built this one before, so this is going to make an interesting build on the channel. I was very grateful. They know that I like that sort of stuff, so very beneficial. So we've got some people already in here saying it's decal, it's decal. Yeah, it's totally up to you how you say it, but obviously we've all got a choice. We all sit on one side of the fence or the other. So it's completely up to you how you say it, but if you want to wear your t-shirt out in public, I'm going to wear mine. I'm going to wear my decal one, because that's the way I say it. And I've had a load of people say it to me, like in comments, you're saying it wrong. And I'm like, but why? Why am I saying it wrong? Just because you want to say it a different way to me doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's different. It's okay to be different. If you're on my Discord, you're getting a ping right now, because I'm going to tell you all that the stream has started. Stream is now live. Boom. Gone. Brilliant. Cool. So what I would like to see from you guys are some questions, because this is a Q&A session. So I'm going to go for about an hour. And if you pop any questions down in the chat, I'll be able to answer them, or try and answer them. Please try and keep them as clean as possible. If you ask me personal questions, I might answer them. It just depends on how personal they are and how much information I actually want to give away. So don't be upset if I decide not to. It's just that I don't want to give all of my personal information away to you. Cool. And we'll wait for that lag to catch up so that it gets into the chat, so that you guys know what's going on. So, do I have kids? Yes, Juice, I do have kids, and in some of my earlier videos they were featured. Not, you know, you couldn't see them, you could just see their hands because they were helping me build some Lego. But yeah, I do have kids. I'm a dad. It's a full-time job, really. If some of you out there are parents, you'll know how demanding time is with children. Not to mention the fact that I do also have a full-time job as well, so that takes a lot of time to do. What is on the workbench? Currently, at the moment, nothing is on the workbench because I've cleared the workbench off so I could set up the stream. I went to B&M here in the UK this week and I bought one of their light rings, which is why the lighting looks so much better in this video. I'm hoping to get a new streaming camera as well because I'm currently using my phone with some software, and I'm hoping it works, but I did encounter some lag, and that was the problem that I was having before I started the stream. I've discovered that I have to start the app on the phone before I start the app on the computer so it talks to each other properly, otherwise they get out of sync. But yeah, so that's why there was a slight delay. Apologies in advance. But something I have been working on, as you all know, is the Airfix Stuart. It's here somewhere. Sadly, I'm a little bit behind. I'm currently at that sort of state. Things have been sprayed, things have been masked. I've got the top of the tank there, the hull. Oh no, the hull was the other bit. This is the top. What do you call the top of a tank? The body? So that's in the process. I need to do the bluey green camouflage bit around the top next. But yeah, this is going to be quite a long project for me to do, to be honest. So just bear with me on that. I have also started the Airfix Curtis Hawk. Oh, I'm clicking things by accident. Let's not do that. But again, I've encountered a few issues and I kind of want to remove the paint and start again. So that's going to take a little while as well, a little bit longer to do. I have totally lost where I am with the chat now. This is what I mean. So if you really want me to see your question, just if you want to, of course, not saying do it, but it would help if there were some highlighted ones. Okay, so I had one highlighted just here. Joe, Gunpla. I have not had the chance to look at a Gunpla yet. I've just been too busy with work, family, other projects. I've got some exciting new projects coming. You should see them at the end of the week, or one of them anyway. You should see one of them at the end of the week. Extra video coming your way. How many models have I built? Don't know. No idea. Where do we draw the line at models, really? Because I did model trains. So is a model railway one model, or is each individual figure, or house that you build a model? So I mean, if we go off that, then it's literally probably thousands. So yeah, I've built a lot over the years. Do I have any advice for a growing channel? Yes. My advice is probably to try and make your content as high quality as you can. I mean, I'm still learning. My first videos were not as good as my videos now. It's a learning curve, I think. It's taken me 4.5 years to get to this point. So it's taken me 4.5 years to figure out sort of what my style is, the best way to frame the images. I mean, it comes down to money as well, because you need to have nice cameras and things. So if you're just working off of something like your phone or a tablet, the quality is going to be lower. And sadly, with YouTube these days, people want to see high quality content because there are, fair play to them, a lot of good high quality YouTubers out there. But that also pushes up what our standards of expectation are. So you kind of got to up your game. You've got to sort of try and match them as best you can, but obviously still putting your own spin on it. When did I first get back into modelling? When was it? 2016, I think, when I started my channel. Well, I suppose I started around the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, and then I did it for quite a few years, and then I went to university, and it sort of took a back step, so I probably did it a bit on and off, but only sort of the odd model here and there. But it wasn't really until 2016 when I really got back into it, when I started my channel. But I'd say probably about 2017 I did have a break of about 9 months, which didn't help the growth of the channel because I just wasn't uploading. I just, at that time, I think it's natural, you sort of think to yourself, the channel wasn't growing, was there any future in it? And it was a point where I thought to myself, this isn't working, I probably should stop. But then one day I thought to myself, well, why isn't it working? I enjoy building and I enjoy making the videos, so maybe I just need to change them a little bit. And here we are now. I think that's quite normal for a lot of channels though. You get to a point where early on you don't see it improving or growing and you think, oh, what's the point? No one's watching this, and you just stop. And that's the mistake a lot of good channels make, because they don't think people are watching the content, and it could get discovered years later, months, years, 10 years down the line, and that's when it becomes popular. So just stick with it. Right, more questions. What is my setup for filming? So at the moment I'm using my phone, which is an iPhone. It's like a 5, so I haven't got that much money, so I can't afford to buy new stuff all the time. I use a Audio Technica microphone, which is here somewhere. Bear with. So that's my microphone. I use that. I've had that for years. It's quite old now, but it works. It does quite good audio for my videos. And I use a Nikon D3330. So it's actually here. I don't know if you'll see it on the camera. It's actually still attached to the bench. There it is. That's my camera. That again, not particularly new technology. That was bought nearly 5 years ago. I have a sort of boom now, and it didn't used to have this, but I do have a boom now, which is attached to the desk and allows me to move the camera around, get different shots, different angles. It wasn't that expensive. It works. It does the job. Before that, I was just using a tripod, which came with the camera, which was more inexpensive than the other one. But that's why a lot of my early videos were pointing sort of down from the front of the build, like me showing you like this. Whereas now you can see my hands this way because I've got this new boom. So I think that helps with the quality. What else? Is the Garden Railway still up? Yes, the Garden Railway still exists. However, we've not had particularly good weather here in the UK recently. It's been too cold, it's been too wet. I need to get out into the garden, clean away some of the vegetation because it's grown like a lot. And I need to repair parts of it because I can see that a bit of the track here and there has fallen off, and I need to get it working again. I mean, I'm sure it will probably still work. I haven't noticed any corrosion. It's just it's not in a fit state to work straight off the bat, so it's got a bit of work that needs to happen. But sadly, because of the weather, it's not likely to happen anytime soon. I'm hoping to do an update video, so that sort of stuff will be covered in it. But sadly, because of work and family, I've just not really had time to get out in the garden and get on with it. What next? Who's next? How do you transfer footage from camera to laptop? Very simple. So, I use one of these. Little flash card, memory card. So that goes in the camera, take it out, stick it straight into the laptop. Done. I save it onto the laptop, because I'm using a laptop at the moment. And when I've finished with the video, I save that all onto a hard drive externally so that I have a backup if I ever need it, but I don't save it on the laptop because it hasn't got the space for it. Hey Ollie, Wardle Road, mods in the chat. Thank you very much. I'm sure your channel will join me soon, or maybe you've already surpassed me. I don't know. I can't keep track. You grow so quick now. Can I possibly show you my best models and my thoughts on the best models? Best models. Some of them are not here. That's the problem. That's the problem I have. Is some of the models are not here. I tend to put some of them on the shelf, and others, unfortunately, because the shelf is not, big enough, they get stored in boxes. I would like to have a proper display case so that I can show them all off. But this one's pretty good. This is an Airfix P51D Mustang, or Mustang 4. It's in Royal New Zealand Air Force colours, and I'm actually pretty pleased with this one. It's turned out really well. And you're going to see the video on this tomorrow. All right, so as soon as I finish the stream, I'll be setting up the Premiere page for this one. let's put that back without knocking it all off. I mean, the Lancaster I did, that one there, that one's really good. I'm pretty pleased with that, especially as most of it was brush painted. So that's one of the bigger kits I've done so far. There's a few other kits on the shelf I'm particularly pleased with. I mean, I'm pleased with most of them. Some of them are just not as fun to build or as good to build, but I'm pretty much pleased with everyone. Apart from maybe that Tornado. That one there. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's done. I'm glad it's finished. I'm just not... It just wasn't a great build. It just wasn't a great kit. So, yeah. I don't think I'll get another one of them. Let's see if I can put it back without it knocking off. There we go. Cool. Other questions? Ollie 4.3. I mean, that's still amazing. It took me like 3 years to get to that. So, you know, keep at it. Stick with it. How long does it take to make one of my videos from Scale Modelling Maniac? How long does it take? Well, depends on the model. So something like the Lancaster, which took me 3 weeks to make on and off because obviously I had to go to work and family and all that jazz. 3 weeks to make. Then you've got to think about, because as you build it, you've got to think about the filming of it as well. You've got to think about the shots that you want to do, the framing you want to do. So each step, like in the Typhoon build, I would move the camera around, find the best angle that I thought would work for that particular step, and then I would move on with the build and then move it again. But it can take... so about 3 weeks for a big one. I can do a small one in about 2 days of building, so maybe 16 hours for a very small kit. So something like that P51, that's about 16 hours work. And then on top of that, video editing is about 3 hours for a small video, for a short video. Scripting, because I script most of my videos so I don't forget to say something, that can take an hour or more. With research, that's about half an hour, because I have to research the videos, research the topic I'm talking about, so I've got information to put in there, which isn't, it's not always right, but it's, you know, it is from sources, so I'm not just making it up. And photo editing, because I do that as well for each video, to make photos and thumbnails and other graphics that I use, and that can take about an hour. So all of that, upload time usually about half an hour, then I do all the metadata, all the descriptions and stuff, that can take another 20 minutes. So realistically, for a short build, a 15-minute video of a small kit like the P51, you're looking at probably about 4 days solid work. That's why, you know, when people say to me, oh, if this only took you 5 hours to make, why is it taking you so long to make a video? Because obviously I upload every week, because that's what the YouTube algorithm likes. So sometimes I might get 3 or 4 videos done in a week, and then other times, because I'm working so much and putting so much effort into the builds, it might take 4 weeks before I finish another one. So I sort of bank those videos so that they are ready to be consistently uploaded. And obviously patrons and this channel members get early access, usually about a week to 3 or 4 days in advance, so that they can see it before everyone else. Right, other questions. Will you ever build a Revel B17G? From James. Yes, I have one in the stash, and at some point I will build it. Don't know when, but I will build it at some point. A Tamiya 135 tank? Yes, I would build a Tamiya 135 tank. I don't have one, but I would. What's next? Oh, you're asking the same questions. How have I been these last few weeks? From Riri. Generally okay, just busy. Sometimes, you know, when you lose your motivation, you don't really feel like doing stuff. That's why I did, I'll show you. That's why I did this one. I just was struggling to find motivation to do things, and I thought I needed a simple and easy build to do, so I decided to build this one, and it's turned out really well. It's here somewhere, bear with. There it is. Yeah, so for a small kit like that, it looks amazing in my opinion. The detail on this is fantastic. It's really fine detail, and I managed to do some weathering. It's all brush painted, by the way, so if you're a fan of that part of my channel, I haven't airbrushed this at all. It's all brush painted, picked out the small panels, and then apply a wash, dry brushing, and streaking with pastels, and it's turned out really well. I'm quite pleased with that. So some of you might have seen the images of this, and a lot of people were like, when they saw the original image, they were like, wow, that looks amazing. What scale is it? And then I'd show them it in my hand, and they went, yeah, that's ridiculous, the fact that you managed to get that much detail in such a small area. But it's a Bandai kit, and this is, you know, Bandai well known for having amazing detail. Let's put that one back. Alright then. When am I going to build my Tiger 1 from Goose? Not sure. I'm not sure when I'm going to build that one yet, because like I said, I've got a load of projects, a load of things I need to get going. Sometimes I have deadlines for other things as well, especially if companies send me stuff, then I kind of have to prioritize that a little bit more. But yeah, so I hope to do it soon. I know that Airfix have just released a new Tiger 1, so maybe I'll do a comparison build, new versus old or something like that. But again, that would mean getting it and then actually finding time to do it. So I have loads of ideas. I have so many ideas for different videos or kits to build or dioramas to build, but then it's getting to do it is the problem. So slow and steady wins the race, I think. If I rushed to finish everything, they would look a lot worse. Like the tornado earlier, some people said I'd rushed it, and yeah, brutally honest, I did rush it because I was sick of it. I just wanted it finished. So I did rush it a little bit, and it doesn't look amazing, but it's done. And that was the main focus I had on that model. But other models I do take my time on. Scale Modelling Maniac, how is the transition from brush painting to airbrushing? It's alright. It's a little bit hard at times. There are things when I think, oh, I should have just done that with a brush because it would have been so much quicker. But it's okay. It's a new skill, isn't it? New skills are hard to learn sometimes and take a bit of time. Shane. Hello, Shane. What's my top tip for someone looking to start out on YouTube? Research, I think. Find out what you want to do, what videos you want to make, what kind of channel you want to have. Then look at what other people are doing in that area. So, like for me, people like Plasmo and Owen from Quick Kids, they make amazing videos. So I'm not quite at that level yet, but that's something to sort of aim for, isn't it? Don't copy them, but take good elements of what they do. Identify 2 or 3 things. That's good, that's good, that's good, and then use that in your videos to help you grow, to help you improve. Cool. What else have we got here? Am I afraid of spiders? Not really. I don't really like them. I'm not afraid of them. I don't run away from them, but I don't really have a choice because at home I'm the one who has to get rid of them. So yeah, I kind of don't really have a choice now. I mean, if I had a choice to be scared of spiders, I'd just be like, leave them alone. I do get some. Occasionally they wander across the workbench and I just leave them because they're not doing me any harm. But yeah, I have seen some scary spiders in my time, but I wouldn't say I'm scared of them. Mitchell, hi Mitchell, how do I record the voiceover? So I script it first, and then like I said earlier, I use my Audio Technica microphone to record it. I use Audacity to fiddle with the sound, remove the noise in the background and things like that, and then I import it into my editing software. Oh, that's a good idea. Riney96, PZL37, Mr. Craft versus IBG. That would be an interesting video. The Simplies, what am I currently working on? Like I said earlier, I haven't got anything currently on the bench because I've moved everything off. I have got some projects on the go. The Airfix M3 Stuart, the Curtis Hawk from Airfix. I've even still got the Revell Sop of Camel on the back burn. It's here, it's over there. I can see it. It's the other side of the camera. Bear with. This one, still working on that. The problem with that one is I started doing it like a year and a half ago, and I think my skills have changed since then, and I want to do it well, but I've sort of used my old skills, so it's going to be a little bit while. I want to use some proper rigging stuff on it, but I haven't had the chance to get any yet. My favourite model brand? Well, I am quite a bit of an Airfix fanboy. I do tend to buy them a lot, but I wonder if that's mostly because they are the easiest to buy here in the UK. I'd say my second most popular brand is Revell, but again, they are quite popular here in the UK. But having built that Bandai kit, I thought that was amazing. So, as for favourite, it's hard to say. Would you class your favourite as the one you build the most, or maybe the one that you would like to build more of? Do I have pets from Juice? Yes, I've got pets. I've got a dog and 2 cats and like 5 fish. But I don't see them all the time because of work and, you know, being busy. Do I prefer AFV or aircraft? Well, I think I kind of prefer aircraft. I think, if anything, I prefer trains. I'd like to have more model trains running around and things like that, but with my space available and my time available, I don't really have that. Like, when I originally started out on my channel, I wanted it to be a model railway channel, but I just didn't have the time or the space to make it one. So I started doing more Airfix and stuff. Like, I think the first couple of videos on my channel, I had an Airfix Spitfire review, not a build, just a review. Same with a 109. Then I built a Revell P51D Mustang, and then I did a Dapol wagon, some Dapol people, and I was like, I definitely want to go down the train road here. But then I just didn't have the space or the time, and I started to do more models, because the P51 video actually did all right. It got like 10,000 views in the first couple of months or whatever, so that, I was impressed with that. I thought, oh, this is clearly what I should be doing. Swings and roundabouts, some videos do really well, other videos don't. So, what model was the biggest stepping stone for model makers? Stepping stone, do you mean like transitional, sort of from, well, I suppose it's because when I bought my airbrush, I did that Spitfire, didn't I? And that was like a transition between 2 different kinds of skills. So maybe that one, or perhaps, what did I do? I did something like the HMS Victory, and it just was terrible. And I thought to myself, I need to do better than that, because it was mostly, I mean, the model itself isn't great, but my way of painting it wasn't great, and I thought I need to change something here. What helicopter? Digitalized. Am I going to build a helicopter? I have some in the stash. I've got a Chinook, I've got an Apache, I've got some little police. I've got like a police one and an emergency services one. Can't remember what they are, but I have got those. Have I got anything else? No, I haven't got anything else, I don't think. But yeah, I have got them. So at some point they will be built. But again, it's just getting time to do them all. Will I create a Battle of Britain diorama using the Messerschmitt, Stuka and other German planes and British fighters? I'd love to. I would love to. You know, maybe in the future I will. Have I ever made an Academy kit? Yes, I have made quite a few. I've made the Mirage, which is on the top shelf. I've made the Tornado. I've made an F-16. What else have I made? I made a Hellcat many years ago. It's not on my channel, but I did make it. It's somewhere. I think it might be in the garage. Have I built anything like the Revell A380? I built a... Yeah, I did. I built a Revell. It wasn't an A380, it was a 747 in 1:450 scale. It wasn't a build video, I did a review video on it, not just, you know, just where I talked about how it went and stuff. I kind of wish I had done a build video on it, but yeah, it was alright. It was okay. It wasn't like a great model. We didn't have like windows that were see-through or anything, but it was okay. The Simpolice, the Lancaster took 3 weeks. What else have we got here? Mounty on a Moose, hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm definitely missing some comments here. You guys are posting them, which is great, but I'm definitely missing some of them. Do you have an opinion on American model train brands? I've never used Lionel model trains. That's like O-gauge or O-scale. I did have a Bachmann train once upon a time. Don't know what happened to that. It was alright. It was okay. But I can't say I've had that much experience with them. I've had more experience with UK model trains. What else have we got here? Tom, am I going to build more Japanese planes? Yes, in the future. I'm sure I will. I don't think I've got any more in the stash to build. No, I have. I've got the Airfix Kate that came with the club membership. Yeah, so I will build that at some point. Not sure which scheme I'm going to do it in yet. I just wasn't that impressed with the included ones for the club kit, because one of them is white, which I originally thought was silver, but it's actually white, and the other one was silver, and they're just a bit plain. No pun intended. Am I going... Oh, sorry, I've read that one before. Have you ever thrown away a model because you did it so badly? No. I remember as a child I was building a Airfix BF109G, the old version, the very not the one you have now, but the older one. And I just messed up the paints, and I remember I just sort of scrumpled it up and threw it out the window. But I went down and got it after I calmed down. I don't know why I was so angry with it, just frustration, I suppose. I went down and got it, and picked it up, and I then used it. It was salvageable. It didn't look great, don't get me wrong. This was back when I first started. I didn't even paint canopies. I just used humble polycement to glue everything together. It just looked bad. But used it sort of in dogfights to be the one that was shot down. But then I did go and get another one and build it the same, and it came out so much better. So I guess it's just having patience. I learned from it. It was a learning experience. Do I have any Soviet vehicles in my stash? Yes, I've got a Yak 1 from Micro 72. So it's an older kit. It's in the stash somewhere. But other than that, I don't think I've got any other Russian or Soviet models. I built a MiG-21 from Frog a couple of years ago. That's on the shelf, actually, somewhere. Up there, on the top shelf. But yeah, I don't have that many. I wouldn't say I wouldn't get any more. But yeah, I don't think I've got any others. Can I make an Academy EA18G? If I get one, I will build it. If you had all the modelling resources and materials, what's the first thing you would make? Wow, I'd need the space first. So I'd need a proper workspace, resources and materials. Do you know what would be cool? Would be like a small scale map of the UK with working roads and railways and all that. That would be pretty cool. Like, almost like, it'd have to be, the smallest scale I know of for model trains is like T gauge, which is 3mm gauge track. And I think if you were to do the UK, the whole of the UK, it would take up like so much space. It just wouldn't be feasible. But you could do a town, potentially. You could actually do a town in that scale. But you'd need like a warehouse to put it in. But you could do a town. So yeah, something like that would be cool. Be like a tourist attraction. Have I built a Tornado GR1? That's a GR1, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's a GR1. So yes. What's the smallest scale you've ever built something in? 1 to 1. What was it? What was the kit? I built that boat, didn't I? I bought it in the works here in the UK. Oh, what scale are they? Like 1 to 700 or something? Smaller than that? I can't remember now. If you look at my channel, it's that one. It's the one in the works. It might even be smaller. It might be 1 to 12,000 or something. Basically, it's ship kits, and they were like that big. Like a battleship that big. So they were tiny. Should you build kits that big YouTubers don't to get your channel known? Oh, so you mean like, so if big YouTubers are building popular kits, should you build obscure kits? Yeah, I don't see why not, because there are obviously people out there who would be interested in watching that. Some people won't be able to get those kits. Some people wouldn't necessarily think to buy that kit, so they would want to watch that video to find out what you were doing with it, what it was like. So yeah, definitely. Will I ever do a Horsa glider? I would love to do a Horsa glider. I think they look really cool, and they're an interesting bit of history, really. So yeah, I would like to do that. George, am I doing anything for the Airfix Advent calendar this year? have we all been keeping up with the Airfix Advent Calendar? Have we all been watching the days open? I want to know your thoughts. Put a thought. What do you think of the Airfix Advent Calendar in the chat, and maybe we'll discuss it. But as for me, am I doing anything this year? Well, if I had been asked to do anything, I'd be keeping it quiet, wouldn't I? I'd be like, oh, well, you know, you got to keep looking every day to find out if I'm doing something. But no, I'm not. No, they didn't ask me this year. And I have a sneaking suspicion that they didn't ask anyone this year. I feel like they've kept it all in-house with everything that's going on in the world, the pandemic, the issues with supply, Brexit and all that sort of stuff. I can imagine that there was a good reason why they wanted to keep it in-house, but I'm not entirely sure it's working out for them. Some people are asking, what is the Airfix Advent Calendar? So if you go onto the Airfix website right now, airfix.co.uk and or .com, at the top, one of their banners, you know, they've got the like advert banners at the top where they highlight a new model or something that you need to look at. It will have the Airfix Advent Calendar. Click on that. Every day they open a new door on this Airfix Advent Calendar. Like when you're a kid, you used to get those cardboard ones and you'd open the door and inside would be a chocolate and you'd eat it and then you'd feel a little bit disappointed because the chocolate was a bit rubbish. But, you know, you were still excited because you get another one tomorrow because, you know, chocolate at breakfast time is insane. Who has chocolate for breakfast? Well, you know, nowadays it's probably not that different. People probably do have chocolate for breakfast, and people probably did have chocolate for breakfast back then when I was a kid as well. But at the time I didn't have chocolate for breakfast, so that was like a treat. But yeah, so you open the door online on their Advent Calendar, and behind the door is something new every day. It's a reason to make you keep going back to the website. And in some previous years, they've done amazing stuff. Like, you've opened a door, and they've had a model kit with all the paints included for like half the price of the normal kit, or they've had special deals where you could buy like 2 kits for the price of 1, that sort of stuff. Or last year I took part, and a few other modelers took part. They would send us the kits, we would make a video, build it. I did a poem the night before Christmas, I did, for my diorama, and then they would upload it to their, or they would link to it, upload it, would go on there on that day, it'd be exclusive to them, and then I could release it to the public. But this year, I'm not entirely sure it's as good as it was. So, sorry, I'm just reading comments here. What is my favourite chocolate bar? Oh, I don't know. I had a Bourneville bar today, a little one, you know, the dark chocolate. That's quite nice. I like a Whisper occasionally. I'm not sure. I like quite a few. There's no one particular chocolate bar I would go for. I think I sort of pick and choose depending on what mood I'm in. Maybe a double decker is quite nice, but they can be quite messy. George, yeah, quick build. So they're putting a lot of quick build on there at the moment on the Airfix Advent Calendar. I'm not a fan of quick build. I get it. I get what it's for. I understand that it's for helping younger people get involved in the hobby. It's just basically Lego. It's Lego, which you can't turn into something else. It only builds into one thing. So, you know, with normal Lego, I mean, they do sort of mold specific stuff now. But when I was a kid, Lego were just blocks, and you built them in a certain way, and you could build them in another way, and you could build them in another way, and you can have loads of different things built from it. But with the quick build Airfix stuff, you build it, and it's built, and that's it. It's done. It doesn't really have another purpose. I mean, the cars and stuff, you can drive them around on the floor because they've got rotating wheels and things, but you can't turn it into anything else. It then becomes like a very crude model. It's not highly detailed. It hasn't got the finesse of other things, and it's got these stickers that you put on. Because I actually got the Bugatti Veyron. I gave it to my kids after I'd finished building it. I was like, there you go, play with it, and they just dismantled it and lost all the pieces. You know, which is what children do. But you couldn't just then pull a bit out of the Lego box and go, I want to build this again, and replace it, because you can't, because it's a specific shape and size, and once you've lost one bit, you can't build the whole thing again. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I think Airfix were like, oh yeah, this is a good way of getting people into the hobby, but no, it's not a good way of getting people into scale modelling, because the skills are not transferable, really. If you want people to get into Lego or construction kits, then yeah, that's a brilliant product. But modelling has more steps, more techniques. You're not just simply taking a bit and putting it on another bit. It's cutting, sanding, shaping, filling, gluing, painting. You know, it's doing all of that to the plastic parts. It's applying transfers, which is a whole other kettle of fish in itself. It's knowing which step to do when and where, applying the varnish before the transfers to make sure it's got a smooth surface, then applying the varnish after them to make sure they're protected and they don't come off and you don't get silvering. And then if you want to do weathering, it's thinking about how would that look in real life, or how would it look if I wanted it to do this in real life, or whatever, you know. So it is what it is, I guess. That's me on Quick Build. I might just take that and make that into a video. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Okay, sorry, there's so many comments here, I'm not seeing them. If you have a comment you desperately want me to read out, or a question you definitely want me to answer, please consider putting a super chat on, okay? Because that will pin it, and then I'll be able to see it. Right, where are we up to? Have I built any warp model resin kits? No, Jeff, sadly, I'm not entirely sure what they are. I know what resin kits are, but I've not built any of those, and I'm not particularly sure. Is Warp a brand? Because I have not heard of them, unfortunately. What is my favourite war movie? Well, I'll watch a lot of movies, but I'm not sure I have a favourite. I think a lot of movies were quite well done. I don't know. Probably a couple of years ago I would have said I had a favourite, but I don't know. I don't know at the moment. Maybe if a new one comes out, I'll pick that one. Is there any vehicles you would want to build as a kit that may not be available? I'd like some of the earlier or interwar period, I like RAF vehicles, aircraft as well. Even some ground equipment, you know, for doing your dioramas. That would be pretty cool. I know some companies do make some of them, but they don't make like a lot. You have to kind of scratch build some for that. So that would be pretty nice to have. What else? Model Man 6679, welcome. My favourite model company, so I sort of had this question earlier, and I said that I build Airfix the most. I would say that's probably because they're the most easy to get hold of in the UK, and they're not expensive. Same with Revell, next highest up on my list would be, but I don't know if they're my favourite. I would have said years ago that Airfix was my favourite, but I'm feeling, as I progress in my modelling journey and I start to build other kits from other companies, I'm learning that not one size fits all. They all have their quirks, they all have pros and cons. Like some of the Academy kits are fantastic, but those decals are horrendous. And there are other companies out there that I need to try. Like I said, the Bandai kit, the Millennium Falcon, I built this one. That one was really nice. That was really good. The mold quality was spot on. The details were amazing. I didn't use the stickers. It comes with stickers, this one, but I didn't use them. I painted it instead, but that wasn't too much of an issue. So I would like to do something like this again. I actually have another Star Wars kit from these guys in the stash. So if you'd like to see that one, let me know. Juice, you're going to build your first Academy kit next week. Decals, not great. Not great. If you want more information, I'd suggest watching my Mirage 3 video and my Tornado video, because they will give you an idea. Generally though, they're a bit papery, they break, and they don't conform to the surfaces. So I would get aftermarket decals if you have one of their kits. The kits are quite nice, but, well, apart from the Tornado, it wasn't great. But yeah, some of them are quite nice. I've got a P51 from them. I've got two P51s actually, and they look to be quite nice. What else? Can I show my stash? Unfortunately not at the moment, because my stash is in another room and it's very untidy. I have a lot though. I might do a stash video at some point and show you what I've got. It is quite shocking how many I actually have. I have too many. But I'm not going to give them away. I'm going to try and build them all at some point. Am I going to make an Airfix Operation Overlord review? If I get one, probably, but I don't have one. So again, that's another issue. And that's linked to the stash one before. I've got so much in the stash. Like I said to my family this year for Christmas, don't get me any more kits. I don't need them. I mean, I want them. Don't get me wrong. I want them. And you know why I want them? Because building models and collecting them are different hobbies. You can get this t-shirt on my merch store. Link is underneath. Shameless plug. What paint do I like to use the most? Okay, so Humbrol paint is a mixed bag. It's sometimes grainy, it's sometimes really good. Like, what have I got one here perhaps? Let's see if I've got it here. Like this one. This is a matte 32 dark grey. And it is really nice. It's got a really smooth texture. It comes out of the pot. And you pretty much are ready to go. It's a really nice, high quality paint, in my opinion. But you get something else like, oh, I don't know. Oh, okay, let's go with this one, for example. Matte 49, that's a varnish. Leaves a white residue when you use it. Okay, so you have to be really careful with how you apply it, and I actually find mixing it with hot water helps to remove that white residue. It must be to do with temperature and humidity, and how much you mix it as well, because it just isn't great. So the acrylics on that front are hit and miss. The enamels are similar. I'm not a fan of enamel because they have such a long drying time. And they're difficult to clean up as well. They're not as easy to use as acrylics. I do have some Vallejo, and I am really enjoying the Vallejo stuff at the moment. I do have some Hataka to try. I've not used this yet, but there are kits in the stash which I will be using them on. And I have some Tamiya. And I'm actually liking the Tamiya, but because these acrylics are alcohol based, they don't mix so well with other paints, which is what I'm learning. They go on really nicely, but if you don't thin them enough, they tend to sort of dry unevenly. But yeah, so probably the Tamiya, Vallejo, and yet to try the Hataka paints. But yeah, Humbrol paints in the UK are cheap as chips, so that's why I'll still keep using them, because for certain things, fantastic. For other things, not so much. Oh, Adrian. Is that a super chat? Thank you. Or is that a donation? Either way, thank you very much, I guess. Yes, it is. It's come up there. Thank you very much, Adrian. That's very, very kind of you. It certainly will. It certainly will help me. Is there anything you would suggest that I get with your very kind donation? Is Vallejo Air viable for paintbrushing, John? Yes. Yes, it is. You can paintbrush with that. The silver that I've used here, I used that to dry brush my Millennium Falcon. You can use the other ones. I used a Vallejo Air Olive Drab on here. Won't probably be able to see it so well. It came out okay. If I try and hold that up to the camera. Don't know if it's come out, but that bit there is used with Vallejo Air, and it's alright. It's better in an airbrush, but you can use it hand brushed. It's just, I would probably suggest thinning it a little bit actually, if you're going to hand brush it, because it just sort of it just seems a little bit thick. I mean, it's thin enough to go through an airbrush, but I would probably thin it just a touch, just ever so slightly, like literally a drop of water with it. Favourite Luftwaffe aircraft? Ooh, the FW190 is pretty cool. Looks pretty scary, but you know, elegant at the same time. Yeah, probably that one. What else? What else have other questions? Do you know if you can use flying hours in Europe or outside the UK? I don't know, actually. I'm sure that you must be able to, because the club is open to the rest of the world. So you must be able to use those flying hours. The only difference would be probably that you have to pay more for postage. That's a question worth looking into, and I'm sure you can probably find the answer on the Airfix website. Jay, have I stopped doing the subscriber showcase videos? No, I have not stopped doing them. There will be another one. The problem, well, it's not really a problem because it's actually really good that you guys send me so many pictures and so many submissions. But therein lies an issue, is that because I get so many, I get a bit snowed under. So I've got number 18 ready to edit. I haven't started editing it. I've got it ready to edit. But there's like a delay in me getting around to editing it to then getting new ones. So every time I upload a subscriber showcase, I get like 50 submissions. So I get through like 10, 15, maybe 20 submissions in a video. Upload that one, I get another 50. So you can see that I'm getting more submissions quicker than I can make the videos. So sometimes I put little gaps in between so that I have time to clear a backlog. So there are more videos to come on that. They will be coming. I just need a little bit of time in between to make sure that I've actually given myself that sort of time to level off the number of submissions, if that makes sense. The exact kit for Millennium Falcon is this one. It is the Bandai 006, and I'm pretty sure it's 1:350 scale, but I don't see the scale anywhere on the box. I found out that it was 1:350 scale in by Google search. Okay, so if you want one, highly recommend. Use it as you wish. Save money, I will ask for the Edward Spitfire. Brilliant. Okay, so Edward Spitfire. Adrian, just for you. There it is. So it's already there, but I will try and get round to building it as soon as possible. You can actually expect a unboxing video on that kit soon. It's made, it's ready to go. It's just waiting for other videos to get out of the way first. Oh, Modelling Weekly. Opinions on the 2020 Airfix Advent Calendar. If you rewind the video, you will find my opinion. It's a bit diplomatic, but I think you already know what my opinion is. Can I make an airfield diorama using my World War II planes, Hugo? I would like to. I would certainly like to. It's just having time and space. So as time progresses and my channel improves to a point where I can maybe do this more, maybe cut back on my other work, then yeah, certainly I'd like to have a go at that. Okay, bye Goose, thanks for turning up. Spare time 247, any plans on doing another War Thunder stream? Yes, there's always plans. They don't always happen. Again, it's finding time, like this evening was like the only time I had to do this stream. So again, it's finding time to do War Thunder. I'm trying to look at upgrading my computer at the moment so that I can play War Thunder better, well not better, but a higher quality and stream at the same time. Sadly, my laptop is struggling with age. But yes, I would like to do more. If you guys are interested in seeing that, I would certainly do more. What else? Do you think it was a good idea that Airfix started to make other scale kits? Yes, yes I do, because that is where the market is, and it gives you more of an opportunity to try out new things, or they were fulfilling a need. Unfortunately, some of the 135 scale kits aren't actually their kits, they're just reboxes from Academy. Adrian, you're very welcome. I will try and see about getting that one built for you soon. It will probably get started after Christmas or the holiday season, as I'm going to be quite busy with festive activities from now on. But yes, I will certainly try and put it closer to the top of my work list. Will I do any 135 Tamiya stuff? I would like to. Again, it's a matter of getting those kits. I've been looking at some online. but I haven't yet cleared enough of a backlog of kits to justify getting some new ones. My job, I work in the aviation industry, and it's quite time consuming. But yeah, it's all right. It pays the bills. It just means that sometimes, unfortunately, I have to drop things at short notice or be away for extended periods, which means that the channel sometimes can take a hit in that regard. But you know, I always come back, so it means I can get back to work on it at some point. But then again, you know, uploading videos and having them ready to go as like a stash of videos, as it were, is good in that regard, because if I am away for a couple of weeks, you guys still have something to watch. Am I ever going to buy a 1/24 scale model from Airfix? From Nathan. And if you remember watching my Spitfire video, the Spitfire Mark 5 video I made last, when was it? March? In March, just gone. You'll know that I have got a 1/24 scale model from Airfix. But if you're new to the channel, that's understandable, and I will show you. Just wait there. And I think you just heard all of my models fall over because my stash is not organised particularly well, but I have this. If it can fit on the screen. A Spitfire Mark 5 in 1/24 scale. That was bought a few years ago. As you can see, it was reduced to £25. The paints have gone, I've used them, but the kit itself still is in there. I've looked at it, it's a Spitfire Mark 1 kit with bits that you can change into a Mark 5, so it's like edit sprues, if you think of it like that. It's not a new tooling, it's quite an old tooling. I think Airfix have actually released the Spitfire Mark 1, which is basically the same kit, as part of the Vintage Classics range. So it's not going to be particularly amazing. It might have a lot of issues here and there, but it still looks like it's going to be a good kit to build. Again, time and space. That's the only real thing that's preventing me from building this one, sadly. Yes, James, I am saving up for a 24 scale hellcat. That's the big one from Airfix. It's like over £100. Sadly, we're not there yet, but maybe in the future. Any other questions? Any more questions? Nikki, yep, I will do a build on it at some point. Any other questions? When is the Revell P47 coming? Not sure, again. It's time and space. It's in there. I've actually got two. I've got two in the stash. I've got one I built years ago. Same kit, built it years ago. Where is that? It's in the garage, I think. Might show you that at some point, if I can find it. How many tanks have I built? I'm in the process of building one, and I've built 1, 2, 3 so far there. 4, including the Cromwell. 5, including the other M3 Stuart. So at least 5. Hasegawa Blue Angel. I will try if I can get one. Cool. Have we got any more questions? It's been over an hour now, so if people... weathering technique video? Yep, Model Man, I will do a weathering technique. I've done a panel line one. I was thinking of doing an oil wash when I figured out how to do them myself. I know other people can do them, but I haven't done one yet. And I was going to do a pastel weathering video because I use pastels quite a lot. Maybe a dry brushing one as well. That would be quite good. Is it normal to finish a model on the same day that you get it? Yes. Yes, that is perfectly normal. I've done it. Not recently, but yeah, I've done that. Cool. So if we're reaching the end now, no more questions, I think it's probably time to wrap this one up. So I'm very grateful for you all to have come and join me this evening and spend about an hour of your time chatting with me. It's been fantastic. 10,000 subscribers. That's amazing. That's a milestone I never thought that I would achieve. And I'm grateful for every single one of you for watching these videos, liking them, subscribing, commenting, all that jazz. yeah, it's been a journey. So hopefully in the future the channel will grow. We'll get more of a community. There'll be more of you to talk to. Oh, Nikki, can I do the 148 Land Rover again? If I get one, I'll have a go at it. I'm not sure they're in production at the moment. It might have to be second hand. Not sure. So yeah. Don't forget that if you want some merch, if you were here before 10,000, get yourself a t-shirt. It's really quite nice. It's got the graphics came out really well on these. I'm really impressed. If, however, you suffer the same fate as me and you find that you're building and collecting at different rates, then there's this one. And if you prefer the way I say decal instead of decal and you're on my team, get yourselves one of these. And if, you know, quite conversely, you're on the other team, get the other one. And when we have a meetup at some point, which I'm sure after all of this has happened, we could probably arrange one, have like an exhibition or something, then we could have like two teams, one team in one and one team in the other. Links for that all under there. Ah, Moz, you've just turned up. Sorry, we're just finishing. 11k, yes, simply. So I have hit 11k. I'm at like nearly 11 and a quarter, I think. Bear with, I can tell you exactly how many subscribers I have. If I go here. As of this moment, 11,250. Okay, so 11 and a quarter. Growing quite steadily. It's quite nice. Every time I sort of log into YouTube, there's a few more subscribers. A few more people join our family of modelers. Yep, cool. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope to do more live streams. I hope to do an actual build live stream at some point so you can all chat and we can build something together. Yeah, we could do some more War Thunder as well. We could do teams of some kind. We could have like a custom map and we could just mess around on there for a bit. I am in my Discord server if you're not already in my Discord server, so that's usually the best place to reach me. So you can message me on Instagram as well, but I don't always reply as quickly on there. Discord's a little bit better. And I sometimes do voice chat on Discord as well, so if you want to sort of hang out, then that's the best place to do it. Cool. Sorry, Nikki, but you know, I've got to go have my dinner and you know, go to bed at some point. Oh, Andy, £25 for a 24 scale Spitfire. I actually got that at the Hornby shop in Swindon years ago. I was passing, went in, they had some, it was stock clearance. It must have been end of line because this is pre-Vintage Classic, so they must have been getting rid of these because the Vintage Classic range was going to come in a year or so. So I got that for £25. Sadly, the Airfix shop well, it's actually a Hornby shop in Swindon is gone now. They suffered quite heavily with the pandemic and made so much of a loss that they had to pull out. And I don't know if there's any more Hornby shops in the UK apart from the one at the visitor centre, which is a shame. But it seems to be a sad situation of the time that we live in, is that more places are going online and less physical shops exist, which is a shame. So every time I pass or have the chance to go into a model shop, I buy something. Even if it's small. Small and pointless, doesn't matter. I'll buy a paintbrush. I'll buy a pot of paint. I'll buy some... Oh, and I don't buy magazines, but I'll buy like a little pointless model kit just to support them, really. I did buy something recently. It's like a 4D puzzle, just to give them a little bit of a help, you know? And yes, Nikki, I do watch Owen from Quick Kits. He doesn't upload very often, which is a shame, but I do enjoy his videos. Cool, so thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you have a very pleasant and enjoyable holiday season with your loved ones and that you all remain safe out there, and hopefully see you in 2021 and we will have a better year than 2020. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the 10,000 and I'll see you on the workbench again soon.